I think it's so funny. I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, we're going to do by element, but by zodiac. So I've started on the air signs for September. So those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium, as well as I cover the astrology. I tune in psychically. And the first message I've got is your throat chakra. And I know where the placement is. Also, if you guys are experiencing issues with the internet, because we have Uranus and Taurus retrograde at the moment, it does link to intranet. So it's appearing a little bit like a Mercury retrograde, but it's not. Now, the vibration of 9 is almost prior to a completion. Now, September is about the devil in the detail. I have got the forecast here till the 9th for you. I've pulled the cards for various areas, including romance. And I am going to connect with the Ruin. And really speak to you about any channeled messages that come through. Okay, let's find the Ruin in the book. Now, yes, this month we are having Mars go retrograde. That's on the 9th, so I'm reading and interpreting up to the 9th, connected to the astrology. But the intuition and the psychic energy that I channel will be for the entirety of the month. And I will come back during the month and give you week by week forecasts as to what's coming up. Let's find the Ruin. Okay, so the Ruin that you guys have makes sense. Okay, a lot of things that we're completing in September and addressing. It's been very heavy energy moving from the end of August into September. For you, Aquarius, you guys have had a pretty heavy transit. Hi, Dale. So with this transit, it's been complicated because you've had a 12th house activation. With the 12th house, it can be, your hidden resources, subconscious mind, secrets, enemies, responsibilities, can be illicit affairs, however it directly relates to you. But it's also a house at a very spiritual level where you are trying to process all that is. Sometimes it can be really by doing that, we can unlock everything, come to terms with things and proceed forward. So, at times you'll get the yin yang effect where you'll get really great things happening. And then other times you'll find you can fall into slight distortion, but merely because of confusion or coming to terms with energies. 12th house, if you're keeping yourself grounded, if you're doing meditation, if you're understanding there's a deeper reason why certain things happen, hi, Dale, it's going to benefit you. Now, Aries and Chiron is retrograde currently. So many of us have felt tired, and especially for you, Aquarius, if your throat chakra has been going, where I have actually, as soon as I came on, the first thing that went was my throat chakra, it is due to the fact that you have Mars energy in that position. So you do need to be quite careful during this month, even more so with our mind and our throat chakra. There can be issues to do with mind and throat chakra coming up. Really listening in between the lines, really being very focused about driving, because third house is transport as well. It's communication, self-expression, and short journeys. So I'd really advise during this transit of Mars retrograde to be hyper vigilant when it does come to your driving and to your concentration levels. Because when we have Mars go retrograde on the 9th, especially for your zodiac sign, it falls in the third house. So if there's things that you needed to address with technology, communication, your vehicle, if it's needing a service, things to that degree can come unexpectedly. But it's also being very careful as to your cognitive awareness, because you have Capricorn in the 12th house, of you being mindful of your surroundings and observing and, the social responsibilities. You might have a lot on your plate at the moment. Now, with this Ruin, it does link to Scorpio. Where are we on the chart? Let's have a look. Okay, so Scorpio falls in your 10th house of your career sector. But again, collective energy, it's very 8th house placement. And I've been mentioning this all of August, moving through. With the 8th house placement, what you need to understand is give and take and connections. So we're really looking at between now and October, because we have Juno and Libra. With you in particular, you might be tuning into where you want to be in your career, with who you want to be with, how it directly resonates with you, if there's give and take and balance in the situation. Now, in the month of September, we're having the full moon in Pisces, and we're having a new moon in Virgo. Now, Pisces is going to hit, I keep bouncing because I usually do Libra first, but I'm changing it up. Okay, let's see. Okay, so your second house. So again, subjects to do with self-esteem can come up. And, if it's triggered, it's also your hopes and dreams. The Neptunian energy currently is retrograde. So with Pisces, what you're going to get is you may be tuning into what those hopes and dreams are. Some of those things might be going by the wayside. Other things, it's what you're needing to do in order to make those things happen. Now, on the first day of the month, we're going to have the devil in the detail energy, and it's really important that we are looking at things. We're going to have Mercury in Virgo trining Pluto. So again, it's your 12th house and it's communication. It's trying to bring things down to a point you can understand what exactly you're wanting. Also, when people are communicating with you, really read in between the lines and understand exactly what they're saying. 90% of communication is body language. So there may be something that they're saying that you're sensing something else, and it may actually be needing to be discussed further, or you might need a little bit more time. Now, a lot of things will come up this month to do with endings, but it's more finalizing things, checking where they're at, looking at documentation. Family-related dynamics can be coming up, inner child wounds as well. And that's due to the fact that we will still be having Mercury in Virgo, and we'll have the energy of Venus in Cancer at a temporary level. So with those things, we have been looking at both balance and family, balance and wounds, balance and our emotions. And, old energies, especially with Aries and Chiron going retrograde, it's brought up all those wounds inside us. You might also feel suddenly that you're more inclined to clean up. And I felt that energy coming through more towards the end of August, and potentially it is moving into September, where you're trying to tidy your environment so that you can actually move forward with a lighter load. And I'm hearing the term simplicity. Simplicity is often the best. So trying to simplify things, quality systems going on with the energy of Mercury in Virgo, and trying to fine tune everything so it's manageable, because we are becoming more fatigued. So if you do find that your direct environment is feeling very overwhelmed, it's healthy to remove things and put them away so that you're able to achieve the essentials. And you're not over cleaning, overdoing too many things. It's really simplifying it so that you've got enough time for rest. Now, on the first, you're also going to have both subjects to do with home and psychology coming up. And when I say psychology, it's Pisces energy, but at the same time, it can be self-esteem related dynamics. You may not feel as great on the first day of the month. Also, to do with your hopes and dreams, there may be difficulties and integration that is required on the first day of the month. On the second, I do feel many of you, and this is collective as well, you're going to be having more psychic downloads. You might be tapping into your dream states, and again, looking at where you're going. With the full moon in Pisces, like I mentioned, it does come down to your second house placement. So with your hopes and dreams, if you're wanting to achieve things, actually looking at what is it in your direct vicinity, being able to use what you have on hand, looking at what you would need to do to achieve those targets at a very realistic level, because we do have Neptune in Pisces retrograde. I'm also saying that, during the first few days of the month, that it really starts amping up as Mars goes retrograde. So don't be surprised if you feel heightened emotion, agitation, if you're very sharp with your words. It's nearing the head, the peak of the storm, so to speak, and it can take about 2 weeks to adjust to that. But I do feel, moving into this energy, it's going to help us really understand where we're going and, drop it like it's hot, completing things, digging through and making this work. So with this ruin, it's connected to Scorpio. The color is black and the element is earth. So the requirement of getting grounded. On the 9th, we're having Mars go retrograde. We're also having Jupiter go direct on the 13th of September. Now, it is you need to be mentally prepared. So whatever this is, anything you're tying up in a sense of a loose end or trying to come to terms with, you're going to find it's most important to start dealing with those things, because from a psychological point of view, if you're not ready, this can really move quite quickly. Jupiter is asking you to look at the accountability, the responsibility being that it's Capricorn, but also the frequency of what you need to do to complete things in order to physically move forward with your life and where that's going to be. So with the Scorpionic aspect, I'm really seeing you guys having to dig into your hidden resources, looking at the element of your psychic energy, what not necessarily what your intuition is telling you, but what the status quo has been to date, where it stands now, and what would be required in order for movement to proceed forward. Now, it doesn't mean get triggered if the external energy, of which marriages, contracts, partnerships you're looking at, is not on board. It's alchemizing it and believing it inside yourself so that you can move forward. And then you're holding firm that you've done all you can. You know the frequency of what you're wanting, and you're not going to shortchange yourself. 8th house is huge lessons. It's linked to Scorpio. It's also linked to Pluto. And by the time we move to October, it can become very finalized to a degree. It's a number 10 month. It's okay. Endings, new beginnings, out with the old, in with the new. But I really feel, hi, Dale, that this is really D-Day where we're at. You know, August, we had the Lionsgate portal. We had a lot of downloads. There was very heavy energy. Old wounds come up. Things will start coming at you faster. So and I always use this analogy. When you have too much on your plate, you're going to simplify it, because we're not a circus act. We can't juggle too many things in the air. We're simplifying it so we get the best out of the situation. And so it's not so much under offer, over deliver. It's more you are required to do more with a shorter space of time. So you need to be extremely realistic. And if you are seeing that people aren't working with you, you can't change that, but you can change directly how you deal with the aspect of the adversity. Now, this ruin links to flexibility, endurance, protection, change, empowerment, and problem solving. Esoterically, magic powers, psychic protection. It does say black, so use Tumberline again. We do have Neptune and Pisces. You do need to be protective of your resources. With the 2nd house placement, it's actually looking at who you can trust and who's giving and taking. Hi, Dale. So magical empowerment, psychic protection, spiritual attainment. Now, in the reverse, which when we get triggered, I'd say it's more to do with the Mars retrograde. I'm going to say disorientation, vulnerability, and death. Again, what do you need to bring to a close? And I feel this will be more on your side, because if you are tapping into your cognitive energy, it's almost like walking in where angels fear to tread. If you know something is out of alignment and it's not working with you, it could be a job, for instance, which I have pulled cards for each section, and your romance house. If you're operating with a person who is at a lower frequency and they're not working with you, it's cognitively not rational to be doing that, because you're hoping and thinking that something's going to be different. The only time it's different is when you come to it and you relate to it differently. We can't change another person's actions. We can lead by example, and then it sets the benchmark as to what will be required for that person to entertain your energy. And when they do, then you can directly move forward. But I really feel you guys are assessing that, meditating upon it, maybe struggling going back and forward. But I do feel by month's end, you guys will be very firm in that decision. And I've just looked over to a box that's on the shelf and I see 8. And, you know, the Scorpionic energy is very much 8. So you had the warning signs in August. The Lionsgate portal activated a lot of us. And now that we're moving forward, we're looking at it, we're going, okay, Houston, we have a problem. Is there give and take in this situation? Can even be a job where you're looking at it and going, okay, in the long-term goal, what is the deal? How do I deal with this? It can even be if you're studying and you're looking at your career sector and saying, okay, what would generate the best during these times as society is shifting, and where do I now need to invest? And I do feel by October, because we do have Juno in Libra, marriages, contracts, partnerships collectively, we will be looking at these things and moving forward with more clarity as to what life is going to look like. Now, so whatever this ending is, it is an ending and a new beginning. What else do I need to tell you? The hard days, I would say on the 4th, because we have Venus in Cancer squaring Mars. So again, be very cautious to do with your wounds. Might be a family-related dynamic. It might be emotions that come up. And again, just be really careful, Aquarius, of your throat chakra on the 4th. Now, Mercury will be entering Libra on the 5th. I will be doing a separate energy for the 1st through to the 9th, and I'll do that after I do all the zodiacs because I think it'll actually flow a lot quicker. Let's get into what I'm saying for you guys. Okay, there's something in your past at the moment where you feel there's an imbalance, and it does make sense. So you're trying to make things balance out. You're trying to get to a place where, you know, this month of September, you're wanting that balance back, but you can be meditating upon a situation that really was very unfair. The give and take potentially wasn't there. This is the collective energy, so it can really hit in any space in your life. What else are they showing me? I do feel like what you've got to understand is you guys are at the end cycle. By the time we hit 2021, it is going to be easier for you, but that you're going to be a very different person by January. It is going to amp up as we proceed forward. At the end of the month, we're also having Saturn go direct, so that's really hitting your 12th house. Psychologically, when you're looking at things, if you're feeling a little bit topsy-turvy, you know, really have a healthy diet. Get to a point you're drinking fluid. Use Tumbaline to protect you. And try and sit with the energy of how you're feeling. You know, not, yes, we do need people to actually discuss things with, but if you've been repeating a pattern in your mind and you've been thinking about something and you're really stuck, sit with it and say, okay, energetically, you may not be able to do that forever, and it will naturally cycle out spiritually. It's something that just naturally comes about. But I do feel, you know, you might be up in your head about this. So something to do with an imbalance is going to come up. Now, presently, again, it's funny that I literally called September the devil in the detail because of the Virgo energy. We may also have a little bit of OCD where we're trying to perfectify things, quality check our paperwork, get into our feelings and understand what's going on. You may feel very tempted at the moment. It's almost like passions can be high, emotions can be high, throat chakra can be agitated. But again, so can scarred energy coming through in an intimate level. You may be feeling that you're dealing with a very toxic situation. There could be some sense of manipulation. This could be mind manipulation. This could be people around you. I don't feel this is your energy. It may be at an emotional level you're feeling that way, but I do feel it's externally related and past tense related. So just be really mindful of these energies, of what direction it's coming from and how you can handle it, because I do feel you'll become quite sharp towards them. Now, I'm telling you, whatever this is, you're really getting to a point you've heartily had enough of it. And I do feel you're going to firmly put your foot down because, you know, intuitively, I feel it's either you're feeling somebody is pulling a porcupine or you may be doing that to yourself. But I really feel you're psychically tuning into people's energy. You're energetically looking at them and you're picking the channel they're on. And it's like you're trying to test the situation. If you can step back and allow the tower to come down, yes, the transformation will occur. But where it stands, the way it's going at this point, I feel you energetically are looking at this casting a judgment yourself. Let's pull a clarifier. Who is this energy? Can be linking to two individuals. It's funny that those come up. Okay. Yeah, you're not happy about this. You're really dissatisfied. Some of you are also looking at your education, upskilling, you know, your employment, but it's almost like you're feeling some cycle hasn't ended. You know, something hasn't been learned. To do with this injustice and balance. This can be on your side of the fence or externally, and you're really trying to meditate upon it to look at what you can do to move forward. Now, you were hoping this situation would mature and you'd have a brand new beginning. but you might be dealing with a similar individual. Now, when I say a similar individual, this person may look different and be different, but it's reminding you of a time gone by. Hi, Luciana. So whatever this is, it may be relating to an older child for some of you, not all of you, because I'm getting a very separate message that you're wanting this new beginning, but it's coming up and it's the same thing. And you're thinking, okay, this is a different person. This is a different scenario. Why is this pattern repeating? You're not wanting to be your own worst enemy. You're trying to turn over this new leaf and be mature, but, you know, you can't take accountability for external behaviors, I would say. Yeah, because what's coming up is consistency. And I do feel this is really to do with external energies and not you. You might be being way too harsh on yourself at the moment, where you're holding on to it due to a fact that you're hoping it's going to transform. And yes, it can transform, but the thing is, I feel that you're beating yourself up, and it's just stepping back and trusting the process, but not taking ownership of it and allowing it and trusting the process, that by being firm at times, sometimes is healthy, both for you and to create the tower for the transformation and the change. So I do feel you guys are maybe battling back and forward as to what this is. Now, you don't feel comfortable with something. You're not enjoying this process. You're not enjoying, you're having faith, but at the same time, it's something you're not directly enjoying. You're being patient, but you've sort of had enough of being patient. I do feel this is helping you tap into your spirituality, but you're also thinking, okay, have I had a little bit way too much faith in this? And potentially I'm, you know, faith alone is fine. Getting some weird messages. Some of you are wanting to move. Some of you are wanting to make major decisions, but it could be that you're actually surrounding them to do with other people's opinions, other people's expectations, other people's needs, or the bigger goal of what you're wanting, and you're kind of fearing that it's not going to come about. I'm going to leave that and get to this and see if it interlinks. Now, with your money, there's movement and changes. And again, 8th house placement, you've got the Scorpion energy coming through, which is shared resources. You know, where are we going? How is work going? How are finances going? Your money, I do feel there may be a lot going out. Let's see where Sagittarius is for you. Let's look at your money. Now, really pay attention to your health this month. The emotions that come up can be giving you gut aches. I do feel, you know, some of these relationships, you're having more strength to actually make decisions. And I feel as you move forward, you'll have more strength to do that. But I do feel Mercury is also hitting your 8th house. So, you know, be careful of reading your documents. And I'm seeing missing money. So it might have been somebody double dipped and spent finances. This could be a payment that comes out for internet or something to that degree. Just go back and look at your statements this month, because I'm feeling hidden resources linked to expenditure. Please look at your accounts. I don't know why that's coming through, but definitely to do with Mercury and Virgo, I'm feeling you need to pay attention to your bookkeeping, your account keeping, where your money's going and what's happening with that, because there is changes happening there. Some things you might be having, but you look, I've got to get around to. I feel it's really important this month to look at the finances. I don't know why that's coming up, but it's looking at what the expenses are, looking at what you're needing. There's some sense of resistance that you have. Some of you are hating your job at the moment, and you're simply getting to a point. You've had a gutful, and it may be because it's actually giving you great money, but there's some sense of resistance connected to this. Okay, now with your career, some of you, again, may be home due to what's happening in the collective. Others of you are, again, in assessment. Now, it does make sense because you have Cancer in the 6th house. You also have Leo in the 7th. So I do feel by mid-month, career and movement will move faster, especially with Mars retrograde if you work on technology. Just be really careful with your communication. Now, Mars can link to electricity. So if you're finding that, things are shorting out and things to that degree, make sure you pay attention to them and get them sorted. But some of you are getting to the point where you might be looking at the bigger picture as to where you want to be. And I do feel between now and 2021, you guys have a lot of luck coming in your career sector. So it's funny because for most of you, I'm not feeling career is the issue. I do feel really the connection orientation of family, friends, and loved ones is the big domain for you this month. Tribe, yeah, multiple options. Like, how is this going to go? Feeling like you're pulled in different directions. I'm seeing every person's side of the story. But at the same time, it's like you're kind of wondering what you're going to end up getting. And I do feel some of you are really meditating upon, again, home, where are you going to live? What is it going to be? Who am I going to be with? How is this going to be? It just feels very confusing. Some of you may have many people needing upon you, and it can be very distorting at the time. Again, I keep feeling confusion, regression back. A lot of regression back, especially with the 12th house, looking at things, but not wanting to make a mistake. And I'm feeling a little bit of regret. I feel it's more meditation. I feel some of you are thinking you've got plenty of time, but you're really wanting to choose something wonderful, but you don't want to keep repeating a pattern. That's what I hear. I don't know why they're saying repeat a pattern. It's like you got room in your life for love, for happiness. But you sort of feel like there's a space that's empty. There's something, but again, you're looking at patterns. These patterns, it's like you're not wanting to repeat a pattern. So you're regressing back and looking at, Venus and Cancer, what went down, how things went about. It might have been family conditioning. You're looking all the way back. And you're sort of standing, observing it. Now, some communication can be coming in. This can be in relation to family. It potentially can give you lots of options, but I do feel it's a second chance opportunity. This can even be at a financial level. It could be an inheritance or something to that degree, or selling of a house if you've had a separation. I'm just feeling money coming in. You've been waiting. When it comes in, you need to pick very carefully, because especially whenever you look at these cups, it's like, look, I spoke. It's looking at it and being thrifty. When Jupiter goes direct, it's in Capricorn. So with that, it's whatever you got on hand, really having to be thrifty and use what you have on hand. With family and things to that degree, you might be concerned about them and wanting to give the world. And, you might be questioning if you have children, what are their choices? What are their choices? And I do feel there's information coming through relating to this. It can be causing some frustration for those of you that have children. It's funny. I'm seeing a multicultural friendship group. Some of you actually are networking, and with that communication energy, there can be people that are far. Again, there's one person in particular that you're really honing in on, and I do feel one friend in particular is going to give you some really great advice, but I feel you need to sit with it. I also do think you need to be very cautious about your throat chakra and telling people things, because this can be even them wanting to take from you due to jealousy. Yeah, take from you due to jealousy. Just be really careful what you say. Bloody jealousy. Now, family. Again, Uranus and Taurus. The need for balance. Subjects to do with this are going to come up majorly this month. Are things in balance? This can be your marriages, contracts, partnerships, wanting to get those situations in order, wanting to get more balance and connections. Your energy coming in was in balance. Meditation upon it, looking at how you can bring everything together. Moving forward towards your tribe and your family, you're still doing a similar situation. Please try to not take so much on board in a sense of the responsibility of others, because, with all these energies coming through, which I'm saying these as people on this occasion, we can't make everyone happy. And that's a major theme at the end of August moving forward. You're really needing to have that healthy balance of give and take. 8th house placement, Scorpio. Past imbalances, deception, toxicity, maybe feeling unwell, feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, needing to bring that balance in. I do feel by mid-month there's going to be a need to rest and recoup. You may also, with the Mars energy retrograde, feel more tired as you proceed forward. Okay, let's see for your relationship. Which one should we use? Pick this. Love. What's coming up for love, Aquarius, please? Okay, there's a lot of wounds coming up to do with your love this month. Now, this is fair-based frequency. Get the lower chakras balanced. Mars retrograde will do that as well. So when it comes to your passion, you know, your drive to get things done, the absolute fatigue, again, with your throat chakra, be careful, because with communication, it does feel as though if it's coming from your side, you may need to actually talk about these things. This energy, if you feel it's being suppressed, this can be a blockage in it, or it can be a direct explosion in it. So you do need to be mindful of it. And I'm feeling the energy of give and take again, because you've got justice, balance, and you've got this energy in reverse when it comes to the relationship sector. So in general, be it you're coupled, singled, or, you know, in communication, the energy that's coming through is that you have a lot to say, but you're keeping it up in your mind. And then when you're articulating it, there appears to be a punishment level energy coming through. Hi, Eddie. And again, it being a 7, it is to do with spirituality and, you know, you feeling it's a process. It's a mental process. It's a spiritual process. You're trying to walk away from conflict. You know, this conflict might have been going on for a while, and you're trying to maybe play the chess game to get out of that conflict. Hi, Dale. But with that, you know, the only side of the power you have within this connection at this point in time is going back into your spirituality and actually manifesting and changing that channel. Sometimes we underestimate that, and I think it's important. I think it's important to know where you have power and where the other person has power, and knowing that, you know, what are we manifesting? Are we manifesting a peaceful, loving, you know, adoring vibration? Or have we been held back due to conflict? And I feel somebody putting their foot down saying, look, this isn't working. This needs to change. There might have been fights linking in with this, or lack of communication, and you're fighting the energy of not communicating, however it lands. But I do feel something's been, you know, manifested in. It's tapping into the energy of the laws of attraction and actually ushering it in. I'm also feeling one person was maybe very, very focused on work and finances, or addiction energies here at play. Now, when I say addiction energies, because we have Neptune in Pisces retrograde, Pisces energy and Neptune, sometimes with the 4D energy, it can come through where we feel quite disillusioned, quite disempowered. What else am I saying? I'm seeing there's potentially 2 ways this can go. And when I say 2 ways, it can be directly 2 people, or it can be 2 roads. For some of you, it's 2 roads. But I do feel there's somebody on the sideline that's observing you. They're waiting for you to actually spiritually come to terms with something. And I feel, you know, you may be going into this abandonment energy, where you're having to deal with those abandonment-related wounds. But one of you is very focused on work. Now, this can be doing the spiritual work. This can be, you know, working on things and you know, feeling everything's okay. And it seems to be whenever you shift your energy onto something else, it's almost dragging your energy back. You know, something's resurrecting its head. I do feel a friend is going to help you. That can be confusing you too. It's almost like I feel this person is jumping from wanting to be a friend and then wanting to work with you. And it sort of feels very confusing for you. So it's really activating those wounds. You're trying to understand where they're coming from so that you can get on the same page. And I do feel it's because of the Mars energy. Now, if you're a feminine, most of the energies of the feminines planets are direct. So, you know, you will be coming through with your throat chakra. If you're a feminine Aquarius, very assertive and blunt, because you do have Venus planets direct. If you are a masculine Aquarius, I'll tell you what will be coming up for you. You have the hold of Aries with your throat chakra. So again, this can be massive information, having to do the grind, go, and no energy. Because ultimately with the go, there is burnout. So we do need to be very careful of burnout in the next few months. It's going to serve a purpose though. It's not meant to be bad. It's meant to be true. Let us look at the things and be very realistic. Then when Jupiter goes direct, mind over matter. So really having to put your actions into words, but also have your mind correct enough so that you can deal with the challenges and the movement forward with the fatigue. So I'm really telling you, be careful with your energy. Now, what date did I say that we were going to have Libra? Okay. Something to do with August is going to come up within this connection, and it might have been that you were waiting for this to transform, movement, feeling that anticipation, feeling something was going to come up. You may also feel that you have the strength to deal with this adversity, which can be true. But I do feel you're looking at it, and what you're ushering in is a high vibe energy. So this person, or if this is the person you've been waiting for this transformation to happen, I do feel that energy is going to come across quite endearing and loving. But this is the energy you're waiting for. I don't know why I'm going to pull a card. I'm feeling that there's two energies here. There's a decision between two paths. Don't be surprised if you have a blast from the past come back. If you've been this could be just one direct message, but I'm sort of feeling some of you may have been dealing with a real toxic situation, and some of you are thinking that you may wish to go in a different direction. That's for some of you. It's not all of you. Others of you, it's just simply you want this to change up. You want the balance of give and take to be here. You feel like you're not seeing something. But again, you're being asked to usher this soulmate twin flame in. This is the crowning energy. I'm really feeling there's two things here. Something you feel you're not seeing, and another is the direct mirror of what this is. And it is showing that it is going to happen this year. There could be a karmic energy that has been blocking a situation. It might be a belief system. It could be, because karmic energy is very unique. In the laws of attraction, we directly embody a vibration. So if we have a flawed premise in our mind, we can directly attract it, unfortunately. Once we've purged it, which I do feel with the 12th house, you guys are purging it. You've got conscious connection. Again, it might not have felt so great last month. This is an 8. And again, with give and take, it may not be there. You may not be believing in this situation at the moment and feeling very disillusioned and trying to focus on work, or wanting this and wanting the balance to come through. If you're not feeling that energy, it is perfectly normal, because you're dropping the energy of codependency. Ultimately, your outcome is very positive, but you're directly not seeing it at this point due to potentially conflict and arguments. What's the hold up on this? Okay, I do feel, where is it? I'm feeling on the 6th some major energies are going to come through for you, because it's funny that I wrote this down. Okay, there can be. At the moment, I'm seeing you guys. I'll show you the card and I'll read you the channel. I'll tell you the channel messages that are coming through. I'm seeing the channel that you're choosing. You're swaying back and forward. You're undecided because you're coming to terms with something. Whatever this energy is that you're coming to terms with, or maybe dealing with an aspect of adversity. Once you have settled your energy enough to consciously decide, it's coming quick. And I do feel there's a potential it can happen on the 6th. This could be 6 days, 6 weeks, but I'm feeling the 6th for some reason. Now, 6 can connect to sun. It also can connect to man, sin, work, Gaia, luck. And it's fantastic for business as well. Whatever this is, it's a process of transformation that you're physically going through. But there is an egoic purge. It's almost like you're second-guessing yourself. You really need to come to terms with that because, and it's funny because the butterfly is directly on the throat chakra and she's crying, right? But your mind is stronger. I'm seeing the throat, the third eye, and the crown, and it's almost like it's an explosion. Now, that explosion is spirals of manifestation. I do feel there's grand ideas that you're getting, and I'm also seeing that you guys might be having dream states connected to this individual. You can even be with them and still have these dreams. But you do need to be very careful about what you're thinking because you're ushering it in. If you can't foresee a solution, I'm feeling as though you need to pause and to observe and to be very direct in your thought process. So you need to get grounded in order for that to happen. And then I feel watch. It'll be very quick. But it's really having to get, your mind, your throat, and the activation, even asking your guides to help with this situation. Okay, how do they feel? They're becoming very private at the moment. They're really trying to hold their cards close to their chest. They're watching you as well. They're aware. There might have been a little bit of selfish energy, but the give and take wasn't there, and they were wanting more than they were giving. And it is due to their wounds. It's not necessarily that they're bad people, but it is due to their wounds. They have their own drama on their side of the fence going on. They've got inspiration in reverse. So the inspiration in reverse is coming through that they also don't quite know what to do. They're very undecided. And again, they can be coming to terms with something at the moment, and that's why they're really not up in their head too much. It might even be that they are completely up in their head, but again, I just keep hearing they're trying to come to terms with a situation. So I'm seeing a slight pause. I'm also seeing in the past, there might have been more that they were getting than another person was getting. And this is the mirror. I do think both of you have been through this before. So there's deep reflection in relation to this. So I do feel digging in and actually getting love and getting things out of this situation has been a little bit tedious. But it's because there's a bit of poker face going on between the both of you. And I'm sensing it's almost like nobody wants to hurt the other person. Nobody wants to say the words, but you sense it vibrationally. You sense that there's a bit of a mirroring going on here. It's funny because these ones, they're all stagnant. Why? Abraham's... Tell me. There's something you're not seeing. There's a blockage with this person. There's something from the past holding them back. They don't know that this is forcing them to stay stagnant in this area. And I'm saying 1 week max, and it does feel a very heavy week. This could be up until the 6th, or it could be after the 6th. But I do feel that what this is, they're not seeing it. It's a vibration. The universe is forcing their hand to stay in an energy, to endure a situation, to have the clarity, because it has become stagnant because the other cards are reversed. So what I'm saying is it's almost like their crown has been cut off so that they can actually deal with an aspect of adversity. Once that's been dealt with, I feel they're going to have their light bulb moment. So it's almost like they potentially might be in denial to a circumstance. So this new life, what direction to go, and, you know, being able to see a situation, it feels it's hidden from them. So a circumstance is occurring to activate that. What an odd reading. Anyhow, I hope it related. How are we all in the house, or has the chat froze? Because I just don't know these days. This is what I usually do. Are we all in the house? Any other thing I can say for Aquarius before I get ready for Gemini and then Libra? I don't know. I feel you guys are assessing your love interest. I really do. I think you're watching them. Really feel you're watching them at the moment. Is the chat still not working? Gotta love it. What? I'll be back in a minute. It is working. Hi, Valerie. We're going to be doing Gemini in a moment. I'm just going to see if I've got any last messages for Aquarius. What do I need to tell you? Okay. I really feel some of you have movement on the horizon. I'm sensing as though you guys might be a bit nervous, but there is movement. This can be accommodation. This can be work. There seems to be movement. I'm also feeling with your career sector, you really need to follow your intuition. Your intuition and your co-creativity is massive. And I do feel between now and next month is going to be pretty big. But you've got to tap into that. Now, the hard day will be towards the end of the month. There's pockets. There's the 9th of September, which we have Mars. Be careful of your throat chakra. When it comes to your relationships, I do feel a lot of you are having to depend on yourself. You know, you guys are really attracted to a very strong energy. But the thing is, then we become strong for ourselves. And I'm talking in layman's terms, if I was an Aquarius, coming from an Aquarian perspective, you guys are very strong energies. But the thing is, you need to attract the equal of that so that you don't have to be the be-all, end-all. And at the moment, it's almost like it's embodying this masculine energy. So potentially, if you're a female, you know, you're embodying that. You're having to do more than what is coming to you. So it's stepping back, in magician energy, which came up in your romance house, is all to do with being in receivership mode, because in connections it's give and take. If we're donating our services, that's another thing. It's a chosen energy, which, yes, it still comes back to you energetically, but you wouldn't go to work under the understanding in the contract that you were getting paid, and then the end of the week, the 2 weeks you don't get paid. Yeah, you would get pissed. So it's really unique how at times we do tend to actually look at these things and go into it. And we tend to punish ourselves in situations that aren't mutual. Hi, beautiful. To the point where, you know, you're going, why am I doing this for? So try not to be hard on yourself this month, Aquarius, because I really feel you're underestimating yourself. I'm seeing your career sector doing great. It's going to move. If you're struggling at the moment, hold faith, because by 2021, you guys are on fire. You're going to do well. Anything you're doing at the moment, upskilling, education is really going to benefit you. As to your health, pay close attention to it between now and the end of the year. So mind, as above, as below, as within, as without. It's getting all of those things in order. So being in 9 months, it is to do with finalizing things, getting things in order, tapping into your spirituality, getting to the point that you're meditating and taking time for self. I'll be 5 minutes and I will come back and I will do Gemini. Then I will come back and do Libra. And we're going to try and plow through these. So if you need to go to bed, I understand. I'm going to have one of those days because I'm moving towards the weekend and I have a very hectic weekend and lots of clients. So we need to get these out to you guys. It's been one of those months, guys. Have we been enjoying the month? Has anyone become a little bit more grounded, or are we still anticipating Mars retrograde? What did you miss? Aquarius. I'm going to cut off in a moment and I'm coming back and we're going to do Gemini. And hopefully, if I can get all these done, on the 31st, I will do the 9-day forecast for September. Might even get it done earlier. Who knows? Let's see what we can achieve. And I'll smudge the cards when I'm off. I still need to do some updates for Instagram and Facebook, and I've got to do, I use the app later. I have not been able to update my content that I share because I've been hectic as heck this month. It's been insane. So I haven't been ignoring you. Anywho, I will be back in 5. If you need a booking, the link is below. See you during the month for those of you just seeing this.